Alright, so in this video we finally got an overgrown lawn. I haven't done one of these in a very long time, and it's not because I don't like them anymore. It's just that for whatever reason the YouTube algorithm has kind of switched up things a little bit, where I believe the only way to get views with these videos is to focus on the person behind this yard cut, the messy lawn. So you've got to have a picture of the person, you got to have some interaction with them, you got to explain why you're doing it for free, you got to get them on camera. That stuff I never felt super comfortable with, so I experimented on this one with a lot less camera changes than I normally would have done. This is a smaller yard anyways, so I figured I'd go ahead and do this as an experiment and see what you guys thought. Maybe it's better than nothing. I've got a long form version of this with no talking, nothing sped up, so if you like that link will be in the description. But this is a new development. Well, technically it's an old development. There's a little bit of a story here. It's a failed development. So someone came in, started it, they did maybe 10% of the houses, and then the developer went bankrupt. All those extra lots sat vacant for years and years, and finally recently somebody came in and finished them. So I like the lawns in here. They're a good size for me as a solo guy, and I've been trying to get some more yards. I think I've got 3 or 4 recurring cut customers. One's weekly and the rest are every other week. But at least for this job, you see me using the Toro 60-volt edger. I like that edger. I think I'm running out of battery right around here. I have to go to the truck and get a new one. But it does a really good job. As a side note, I didn't start with a full battery. I don't want you to think a full battery didn't even edge 1 yard. This was one of my last stops for the day, so I don't even know how much battery I had left. For mowing, I'm still using the Toro 2000 60-inch as my main mower. I really like that. It's never given me any problems. It's technically an entry-level commercial mower. I think it's fine for me because as a solo guy, even if I'm out, 8-10 hours, I'm really only mowing, 4, 6, depending on the route that I have, because not only am I driving to places, but I'm the one who's edging, I'm the one who's string trimming, I'm the one who's blowing off the properties when they're done. And so if you were going to run this mower maybe, 8 or 10 hours solid every single day, I don't know if it would hold up as well as it has for me, but I really like it for my grasses in my area. So St. Augustine, Bahia, lots of weeds, zoysia, Bermuda, those type of warm turf or warm season grasses. Warm turf or warm season? I guess you could call them either one. I don't know what the right term is. Any of those turfs or grasses that I run into, it cuts them fine. Keep your blade sharp. That's one of the main things I found with any of the brands of mowers I've ever had, is making sure your blades are sharp at the beginning of every mowing day is going to be the biggest quality of cut thing that you can do. If these blades get dull, if the grass is wet, then you're really going to see some performance issues. The engine's going to bog down. Maybe that's something that you wouldn't see in a 4000 or a 5000 or a Toro 6000. Maybe it would be able to power through that stuff. But that's the only time I ever have any performance issues, is when the grass is super wet or my blades are not sharpened, or a combination of the two. I've also been using the grass flap for about 2 months now, and that thing's, I hate the term game changer because it's one of those like hype phrases or clickbait things, but it really does change the way that I mow, because before I would have to make sure I planned out all my routes so I didn't, blow grass in the clippings, oh my goodness, have I been drinking? So I wouldn't blow grass clippings in the flower beds, but even then, you discharging it and aiming, you really don't have control of it. So something like this grass flap, where you can close it when you want to, you can leave it open halfway, it makes a big difference. So like, especially when you're, right up against the side of a house, you can put it down halfway so you still have some discharge. So that's a product that I have no problem saying, if you don't have one, you absolutely should get one. All the comparison and price shopping I did, all those operator controlled discharge chutes are pretty much the same price, but Grass Flap has a much nicer website. It's much easier to see the people behind it, which to me makes me think that, they're willing to stand behind their product, because now you know who they are. You see me edging a little bit extra there. I didn't realize where the property line was, so when I first started, I didn't edge quite enough. So I had to go back and fix that. These are water meter boxes. I always like to string trim those out and give them a nice edge. Same thing with the utility boxes, making sure you do something a little bit special. I like the idea that when somebody drives up after you've serviced the property, they're like, hey, I didn't even ever know those things were there before. Makes me think they might think your service is a little bit better. I don't know if they actually do or not. One of the reasons I string trim all the way around the property is just because the mower, when you're on the concrete, the tire that's on concrete is a little bit higher than the side that's on the grass, so you don't quite get as low of a cut right up on the edge. So that's why I string trim everything along the edge, just to make it a nice little beveled edge and give it a little crisp appearance. Whenever I go around the house, I just try and be careful of all the utilities, the water pipes, the air conditioner, freon lines, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes that's hard because of where they place stuff. In between some pipes, you may not have enough room to actually fit your string trimmer, so you've got to, do some hand pulling of the grasses every week, but that's not really that big a deal. The Toro blower, I like it. It's definitely not as powerful as my Steel BR800, but it's okay for driveways. I would never do like full leaf cleanups with it. I've experimented with some small leaf cleanups. Because I've got quite a few batteries and a charging station in my truck where I can recharge batteries. The battery life of this Toro 60-volt system has not been an issue. I can get through a whole day with no problem. I can actually get through about 2 days before I need to recharge my portable battery pack. So that works out pretty well. I've been liking the 60-volt stuff. I've probably saved, I never kept really great track of it, so I'm not 100% sure, but I've probably saved somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000 over the course of the year or two that I've been using electric equipment, because I haven't had to use gas and oil mix for string trimmers, hedge trimmers, and blowers. I was still using a gas blower for quite a while until Toro sent me this electric one to try out. So I don't have the best numbers, but yeah, somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000 a year is my rough guess of what I'm not spending on fuel for the handheld, the stick equipment, the blowers, that kind of thing. Now all I need is an electric mower, and I can see how much I'm saving on that, because I am keeping track of the mower fuel. I'm not sure. As long as the mowers are still $35,000, I don't know if it will be worth it, but we'll see. All right, so that's what you got there. Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.